Captain Anthony works at a naval headquarters as the Deputy Director Maritime Surveillance and Deputy Director Naval Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. Very interesting. He holds a Bachelor of Technology in Electrical and Electronic Engineering from Jawaharlal Nehru University, India, and Master Degree Defense Studies in Management from General Sir John Katluwala Defense University. He is currently reading for his MPhil and PhD at General Sir John Katluwala Defense University. His research interests are disaster management, information war operation, warfare operation, cyber security, network-centric operation, and maritime surveillance. I think he is an expert on the subject. I should not talk. He should rather talk. Continue, please.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Chair, respected speakers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today I am going to present a paper on impact of advanced technology on the effectiveness of disaster management activities in Sri Lanka. The contents of the paper is as flashed. The disasters have been a part and parcel of Sri Lankan way of life, being an island exposed to vast Indian Ocean. Global warming and climate change has increased the floods, droughts, storms, earthquakes, landslides, etc. Recent climate changes have had widespread impacts on human and natural systems. Disasters have taken away more lives of people in the last 10 years than 30 years of war. Damages to property and cost of loss of livelihood are few times the gross national product of the country. Sri Lanka has many disasters all year round. Prominent among them are cyclones, floods, landslides, and droughts. The Boxing Day tsunami in 2004 has been a rare occurrence, but it caused the loss of approximately 30,000 lives and colossal damages. Every year, these natural disasters cause loss of lives, livelihood, and damages to property and public infrastructure. Sri Lanka does not seem to reap the benefits of the availability of advanced technologies in managing disasters in all stages of its cycle, namely impact, response, recovery, reconstruction, prevention, mitigation, and preparedness. The landslide at Koslanda province in November 2014 and flash floods in most part of the country in May 2016 proved that effective mechanisms are not in place for disaster preparedness, response, and recovery in Sri Lanka. Remote sensing is the acquisition of information about an object or phenomena without making physical contact with the object and thus in contrast to on-site observation. These sensors can be on satellites or mounted on aircraft. Remote sensing has a wide range of applications in many different fields. In disaster management, it has been widely used in tracking cyclones, droughts, landslides, and flooding. Remote sense data such as MODIS, Moderate Resolution Imaging Spectroradiometer, ASTER, Advanced Spaceborne Thermal Emission and Reflection Radiometer, Landsat, and RadarSat are also used to produce maps on disaster risk. Digital terrain data received from Global Digital Elevation Model by US Geological Survey, Shutter Radar Topography Mission, Digital Elevation Model or LiDAR, light detection and ranging are used for hydrological and flood modeling. The slide shows the flood extent for Colombo and Gampaha using RadarSat-2 satellite imagery on May 2016. This slide shows total rainfall measured by Global Precipitation Measurement by NASA from May 9th to 16th during floods in Colombo and Gampaha in May 2016. Tropical cyclones normally affect the coastal zones. Low-resolution weather satellites can be used to monitor and track cyclones as an early warning method to reduce human and property loss. The use of optical sensors for flood mapping is limited by the extensive cloud cover that is mostly present during a flood event. Due to this, synthetic aperture radars and RadarSat have been proven to be very useful for mapping flood. Use of remote sensing in disaster management has changed from an era of mostly used for warning and monitoring to an era of usage in all phases of disaster management. The availability of very high resolution data such as Iconos, GeoEye, and QuickBird has facilitated the use of remote sensing data in disaster management by comparing before and after images of disaster area. Currently, there are more than 20 countries that own satellites. These facilitate collaboration of data among various agencies, and they collectively act during disaster events to assist the respective government. The WebGIS is an internet-based geographical information system where you can find all the leading information and resources for geographical information systems. Free access to all the hard-to-find data such as terrain data, land use data, shoreline data, and base maps are available at WebGIS. Appropriate use of WebGIS data needs resources such as competent technical staff, operators, users, and management. These data can be made available as information products with relevant inputs and integration with remote sensing data to the relevant disaster management during a disaster event. A new project called Sentinel Asia was proposed in 2004 by the Asia Pacific Space Agency Forum to showcase the value and impact of Earth observation technologies combined with near real-time internet dissemination methods and WebGIS mapping tools. The information products given to member countries are satellite imagery and value-added images with extraction of disaster-stricken area, on-site digital camera images, rainfall information, and meteorological satellite imagery and data. In Sentinel Asia program, out of 98 organizations from 25 member countries, Sri Lanka is represented only by Survey Department and Ministry of Disaster Management. Many countries have obtained membership for leading universities in their countries to the Sentinel Asia program so that centers of excellence in disaster management can be set up in those universities. As the main disaster management function is handled by the military in Sri Lanka, it is all but necessary to obtain Sentinel Asia membership for General Sir John Kothalavala Defence University, which is the only military university in the country. Mission capability packages is a concept used in United States of America military in network-centric warfare. It would contain a package including concept of operations, command and force structures, the corresponding doctrine, training and education, technology, and systems with a support infrastructure designed and tailored to accomplish specific missions. An integral part of the MCP concept is the approach proposed to synchronize the insertion of advanced technology with the ability to change the way militaries operate so that they are able to take advantage of the opportunities afforded by technology. MCP can be adapted to ensure Sri Lankan military manages the disasters more effectively, ultimately aiming for lesser number of losses of lives, loss of livelihood, and losses to public and private infrastructure. The need for technological reforms alone is insufficient because the technology insertion cycle is out of sync with military strategy development. What is needed is an approach that synchronizes the development of military strategy with the globally available advances in technology and with the technology insertion process. The speed at which technology can be deployed is only one aspect of the problem. When considering a situation in which new technology can be made instantly available to operational users, which is very much possible with programs such as Sentinel Asia. The concern is how much the technology's potential can be realized. MCP process addresses this problem correctly. It provides an opportunity to make radical changes as and when they are needed. In the concept development phase, groups of individuals with the requisite operational and technical expertise shall be brought together in a safe environment with the charter to think outside of the box. KD offers an environment particularly well suited to this task. As concepts shape up, they would be then subjected to a series of analyses, experiments, and tests to determine if they merit adoption by the Sri Lankan military in disaster management. It is essential that to develop 4 main areas of the mission capability package relevant to disaster management. Collaborative module with the ability to seamlessly receive remote sensing and WebGIS data provided by the different data providers. Data analysis and situational awareness module to determine the nature, scale, and magnitude of the disaster through both local and remotely sensed data and decide on deploying disaster management teams. Communication module for dissemination of data to first responders at remote areas closer to the disaster site, and a module for obtaining feedback and feeding forward new information as and when they arrive to develop statistics required for recovery and reconstruction in disaster management cycle. In order to achieve this, KDO will have to invest in a set of